Hurricane Harvey. One of the most devastating occurrences ever to take place in history. Many people near the Gulf of Mexico still talk about this disaster, and it's no wonder, considering the $125 billion of damage, and the 13 million people affected. However, before we discuss this phenomenon, we first must talk about previous hurricanes to get a better grip on Hurricane Harvey. Hurricanes date back to ancient times, where people believed that hurricanes were punishments from deities or higher beings, such as Aeolus, the god of wind. As society advanced, people began looking for how these hurricanes actually formed, leading to the first ever recorded hurricane, the Galveston hurricane, estimated to have 8,000 deaths, and $30 million in damage. Other examples of devastating recorded hurricanes include the 1969 Camille, 1988 Gilbert, 1989 Hugo, and 2012 Sandy hurricane. So how did Hurricane Harvey form? Hurricanes are considered to be the most violent storms on Earth. The scientific term for hurricane is tropical cyclone. Only tropical cyclones that form over the Atlantic Ocean or Eastern Pacific Ocean are called hurricanes. Tropical cyclones use warm, moist air as fuel. This is the main reason why they form only over warm ocean waters near the equator. Hurricane Harvey formed on the Atlantic Ocean from Africa all the way to the Gulf of Mexico. The warm, moist air over the ocean rose upward from near the surface. Because this air moves up and away from the surface, there is more air left near the inside of the hurricane, except for the center, more commonly referred to as the eye. As the warm air continues to rise, the surrounding air swells in to take its place. As the warm, moist air rises and cools off, the water in the air forms clouds. The whole system of clouds and wind spins and grows, fed by the ocean's heat and water evaporating from the surface. As the storm system rotates faster and faster, an eye forms in the center. When the wind speeds reach 74 miles per hour, the storm is officially a tropical cyclone, or hurricane. Now that we have a basic summary about hurricanes and how they form, we can now discuss Hurricane Harvey. At the start, tropical waves emerged off the west coast of Africa and merged with a low pressure near the Cabo Verde Islands. From there, Hurricane Harvey headed west over the Atlantic Ocean. The hurricane first started slow, and then became bigger as it gained more and more speed. The hurricane from there entered the Gulf of Mexico on the east coast of the United States. This caused a gigantic wave, which flooded over 39,000 people away from their homes. Hurricane Harvey then strengthened to a Category 1 hurricane, having 80 miles per hour winds. The NHC, or National Hurricane Center, predicted at the time a Category 3 or higher hurricane, with over 111 miles per hour winds. Mandatory evacuations from there began. Rain, catastrophic flooding, and much more continue in southeastern Texas, which then extends into southwestern Louisiana. Harvey remains just offshore of middle and upper Texas's coast. Governor Abbott and President Donald Trump visit Corpus Christi to receive a detailed briefing. Hurricane Harvey from August 13 to August 27 causes much distress from there. At this point, floods have caused already 5 million mandatory evacuations, and from there, it only got worse. Harvey then made a third landfall, just west of Cameron, Louisiana. It continued through southwestern and central Louisiana. Far eastern Texas and western Louisiana then received flooding rains. Governor Abbott requested 14 additional counties to be added to presidential disaster declaration. After this, NHC ceases tracking Harvey's remnants. Governor Abbott increased National Guard deployment to 24,000. Also, both Governor Abbott and Vice President Mike Pence visit Rockport and Victoria in order to speak with residents and participate in recovery efforts. At this point, Hurricane Harvey is finally finished. From August 17, 2017, to September 3, 2017, Harvey takes the lives of 88, and causes $125 billion in damage, including 125,000 homes. Many disaster relief organizations, like Red Cross, try to help the 13 million people affected by this disaster. However, even though Hurricane Harvey was over, there is still a debatable question. How does it compare to other hurricanes? Hurricane Harvey, compared to other hurricanes, ranges in the mid-high zone. Hurricane Harvey was a Category 4 hurricane with 130 miles per hour speeds. Hurricane Patricia, the fastest hurricane in the world, had higher speeds of an overwhelming 200 miles per hour, a Category 5. Comparing both, Harvey, although fast, wasn't extremely speedy. However, Hurricane Harvey was much larger in size compared to most other hurricanes, for it went into the Gulf of Mexico, where it could steal water from. Hurricane Harvey was also the second most costliest hurricane in history, right behind Hurricane Katrina, which was actually tied with Hurricane Harvey. But that is a story for another time. Thank you for viewing this documentary of Hurricane Harvey.